people? Welcome to another tier list. It feels like it's kind of crazy to do a discussion type video or talking video after the Galaxy review, but I feel like it's good to do. This one is very cool that I found. It is a Mario Kart roster tier list, which is a very unique thing. I can't believe I've never done one like this. So this really doesn't have to do with anything of the game, but it's more about, the character roster. But I think I'll give the character roster as well some grace based on the game it's in. And I guess I mainly say that because here we have Super Mario Kart. Now, yeah, when you think of the time, obviously eight characters is just a very small amount. But this is also Super Nintendo. The Mario franchise still hadn't really gotten a bunch of characters, and you can see that because it comes with Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Yoshi, Peach, and Toad. And then Koopa Troopa and Donkey Kong Jr., which is just interesting in its own right, considering the fact that we still had Donkey Kong. So if I'm correct, Rare might have owned DK at the time, so they had to use DK Jr. and whatever with all that case. I think this one, I'll give, you give some credit because of the time it was in, but some bonus points for having the uniqueness of Donkey Kong Jr., because that's the only game to actually have him, and I think that's a really unique thing. Though I think I'm gonna have to give it, I'll probably give it B tier, because you still got your heavy hitters like your mainstays, if you will, and then you got a unique character like Donkey Kong Jr. I think it deserves that. So Mario Kart 64, instead of Koopa Troopa and Donkey Kong Jr., we now have OGDK and they're the worst decision ever in the history of video games. Oh man, I think as well this is good because obviously DK just makes more sense than Donkey Kong Jr. and because of Super Mario Land 2, the animal that should not be named also makes sense to kind of go in there. So I think it is a general upgrade from Super Mario Kart, but also the thing that makes it cool is the uniqueness of Donkey Kong Jr. But this still, again, this is not a bad roster, and you can tell it got the mainstays in there. And I'm pretty sure each character has been playable in each Mario Kart since. So like, this is your main 8, you could say. I think I'll also give it B tier, and same with Super Mario Kart because it's the exact same roster. I think just a roster having a good solid bit of characters, even if it's a low amount, is pretty good, and also like for the time. I'm gonna be real with y'all, I have no idea what this one is. I'm like unironic. Oh, this is Mario Kart Tour. Well, I mean, it's basically Mario Kart Worlds, but it actually has good costumes, so easy S tier. If it wasn't in Mario Kart Tour, this would by far be the best roster of all time because the costumes are awesome. Mario Kart Tour, yeah, if it was on a console, absolute best roster. I don't think anyone would ever disagree with that. That was a little out of order, but I just had to figure out what that was. Double Dash. I think Double Dash is, gets a lot of praise for its roster over the game it is. Though, I mean, I know which one I'll say later too, so, and with that kind of defense. But Double Dash also has the uniqueness of characters like PD Piranha, and it introduces Paratroopa, which again I think this is his only playable appearance. It introduces King Boo, introduces Birdo. It introduces a lot of characters and a lot of good characters that would become, more mainstream and like kind of be in the games more often than not. I think this will definitely be an A tier one because I think if I'm gonna be playing Double Dash, I feel like it's, sometimes rosters don't always have to be good based on size. If you got like the characters plus some awesome cool ones, like in the sense here we got DK Jr., we got PD Piranha, I think that makes it more memorable as well. Which then also brings us to this bad boy, Mario Kart Wii, with its beautiful introduction of Bowser, Funky Kong, Rosalina, like Bowser Jr. It has the downside of having one whole row be baby characters, and like Baby Daisy isn't even a real character. It's a Mario Kart original, which we'll see in ones like Mario Kart 8. as well with new characters like that. I think what got more difficult as time went on is because since the rosters were getting bigger, but we were also getting some like, I don't know, filler characters to fill up the roster, and it just kind of, it could make like, at least it, like for this sense it was only Baby Daisy, so it really doesn't bring it down that much. Skipped right over this one by accident. Mario Kart DS. I always forget this one comes up before Mario Kart Wii. This one, since it's on a handheld, like a bigger roster isn't to be as expected, but I feel like it gave us such a good roster for a handheld, because Mario Super Circuit had the 8, and this one has the 8. As you can see, they kind of even set the 8 up at the top, except they switched Yoshi and Toad. And then we get 4 new characters, being Daisy, Drybones, Waluigi, and Rob the Robot. And just ignore Shy Guy, he's online play only, but it's just so awesome. I love when there's like the roster with like one really standout character. Like I feel like if we're like, oh, here's standout characters, like a bunch, I feel like then the standout character kind of loses its luster as much. Like here, DK Jr.'s the standout, Petey Piranha, Funky Kong. I guess it's a double-edged sword, really. But that's definitely A tier, especially for a handheld game. I think this is an excellent roster. Really, in the games as a whole, you don't need a bunch of characters. I feel like I think a bunch of characters can be a good thing, but it can get overwhelming. But that's also why I think like good costumes, because Mario Kart World does not have good costumes. It doesn't have great costumes. It has alright costumes, but these are great costumes. Like that, I think characters with a bunch of costumes can be just as exciting, if not more exciting, than just a bunch of characters thrown at you. Like Mario Kart World, it's just a bunch of random, basically objects being characters. Feels like a fan game almost. Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 7. Oh, Mario Kart 7, you and your anti-Waluigi roster. I think that's always been the talk of Mario Kart 7, is it's such weird choices with its roster. We have Metal Mario, Lakitu, Wiggler, Queen Bee, which that definitely stands out. That definitely does. And, Shy Guy's relative. But we have Koopa Troopa, Wiggler, and Shy Guy, all Bowser enemies. Technically even Lakitu, before we got Waluigi. That's crazy. Then a Mario variant. I guess to me, I see this roster as, it has standout characters, but in the wrong way. I feel like after like Double Dash and DS hit, that Waluigi and Daisy, especially, basically we're the mainstream 10 now. And we don't have Waluigi, which is crazy. If you have a standout roster, but you're missing an essential character, especially like this point in Mario's history, Waluigi was a huge side character. Like he was in every side game, because even now they still don't do anything with him in the main games. Change that, please. But yeah, this is B tier. This is just kind of doing it wrong, because there's only one good standout character, being Queen Bee, and then the other ones like should not be here over like an essential character, and that's a little wrong. Speaking of a roster that does that, Mario Kart 8's base roster, where we decided that Koopalings were more important than characters like Diddy Kong. We decided that Baby Rosalina, Pink Gold Peach, Metal Mario again were more important than Diddy Kong. I'm pretty sure even Birdo too. Yeah, it wasn't Birdo. Yeah, like, just kills me. Just absolutely kills me. I feel like it's hard to look at this roster where we are now with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart World's rosters. Well, World's roster, yeah. But it just feels like, again, the thing about like filler characters, like the Koopalings, I feel like just since they take up 7 slots, that's gonna just make your roster look so much bigger as it is. But then again, we're taking out characters like stinking Diddy Kong, and even the Koopalings aren't even as much of a problem as Pink Gold Peach is, and Baby Rosalina and Metal Mario, and the DLC characters like Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach. Like, to advertise your new game, having them in outfits. I think that also says a problem with Mario kind of moving forward too, was that like games didn't have new characters or anything like that. But actually no, because they could have had it be the Sprixie instead. But I guess prioritizing the wrong thing. But either way, this one, this feels very much like a Mario Kart 7 incident, so I feel like it just has to go in B tier, especially with the rosters we get, which let's just S tier, easy S tier, because while it still has its filler characters, it makes up for it with its DLC and such by adding, you know, we got Birdo, Petey Piranha, which is goated, Magic Koopa, who he had to wait until Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, even though he's supposed to originally be in 64, which I think is such a cool story. Pauline, Funky Kong, Diddy Kong, like it felt like all the characters that needed to be in the game or that would be fun additions were put in here. Peachette and potentially Wiggler are only two that really feel like, why are they here? But with how many good ones we got, like that's so minimal in the grand scheme of things. So I feel like that's a fantastic roster. I feel like you could take out a few characters to just better to put less filler characters in there. But either way, I feel like it got all the essentials you'd want and then all the cool hype a lot of cool hype characters you'd want. All right, so these last three are Mario Kart arcade ones. And for some reason World isn't on here, but World I'd put in like A or B. So, but this one is basically Mario Kart 64 roster, but with Pac-Man. So I kind of feel like it does the same thing as these two games, so I'll just shove it in there. This one adds, is it literally just they add Waluigi and this guy? I think so. So yeah, I guess I'll just throw that bad boy in B2. And then this one goes in A, because this one adds more Mario characters, but we still keep Pac-Man. And I know it's the little rule guy. I'm pointing at it. No way I'm zooming in though. Either way, this one adds more Mario characters. And even though we got like Baby Mario, Metal Mario over like Miss Pac-Man, it's a Mario Kart game. So Mario Kart takes the priority anyway. Mario characters would take the priority anyway. And they filled it up a lot more. And we still got a standout character like Pac-Man. Honestly, this one I probably would put over Mario Kart DS. Actually, Wii goes up here, there. Usually I don't care about the order, but I just want to see like top three. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I would say Mario Kart Tour has the best roster, but that's also because it's a mobile game. So like realistically, I don't think we'd get that for a long time on an actual console. But this is definitely what I would say. Oh man, so here's the list. If anyone has any disagreements, I would love to hear them, or if anyone has any opinion about any roster you think that should be higher or lower. But I think really these three would be like the best roster size and option, because yeah, the only downside with 8 Deluxe roster is I feel like a lot of filler characters are still there. So I feel like there is really no such thing as a perfect Mario Kart roster because it's all subjective, but I think this was the right direction, and I wish World kind of stayed more in that direction. Either way, next video, I don't know what will be, but it'll be something exciting. I'll see you guys then.